Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining us for today's AccountingWorks Pro VIP workshop. Today, we'll be talking about how to get your accountant website to rank on Google. My name is Lauren Detweiler, and I'm the content manager at AccountingWorks Pro.
And I'm Lee Reams, founder and CEO of AccountingWorks Pro. And I think this is perfect timing considering, one, the launch of our 3.0 website editor, which is coming out here shortly, and the latest Google algorithm changes that are putting more emphasis on speed. So I think there's a lot of good points here that we can review and help anyone who is not ranking as well as they'd like to improve those rankings.
Definitely. So just to run through today's agenda, we're going to be running through 11 secrets that your tax and accounting website can use to rank on Google. It includes auditing your current footprint and making sure your site looks good on mobile, claiming your Google My Business listing and building up reviews. We talk about that all the time. Optimizing for local search, writing valuable SEO optimized content, aiming for featured snippets. If you don't know what those are, we'll talk about that as well. Fixing your broken links and your header tags, optimizing for voice search and site images, keeping an eye on Google algorithm changes like the one that Lee mentioned, and getting active on social media. So about this webinar, it'll be about 30 minutes long and no CPE credit on this one. And while this workshop is designed for US-based small tax and accounting practices, any other business or practice may benefit as well. And Lee, I'll let you take it from there.
All right, thank you, Lauren. So let's get started. How do I rank on Google? And it's not just Google, let's just say Bing or any of the other search engines. They follow mostly the same kind of guidelines, so some best practices. Most of these items in here we do for our VIP clients already, but this is a refresher for those that are not familiar with our processes and how we do things. So I'm going to get started here. So ranking on the first page of Google is crucial for practice growth. And why is that? Well, there's many searches occurring every day that if your brand is not ranking well, you're not in the game, right? You're not in the conversation. So you're relying on the traditional referral-based growth hacks versus finding kind of what we call the machine, where we can start scaling something where you can start generating more and more traffic and converting those to clients. So the higher you rank, the more traffic you'll receive. That seems kind of obvious, but in fact, the first result on Google gets 31.7% of all clicks. So that's why it's that important. So meanwhile, results on the second page receive just 0.78% of clicks. So this can seem overwhelming, especially if you don't know much about SEO, search engine optimization. So in this workshop, we're going to walk through the secrets of getting your tax and accounting website to rank high on Google. So let's start. Number one, audit your current Google footprint. We do this for our VIP clients. It's the part of our onboarding. So you want to know where you improve. We start tracking all the important keywords. We use a tool that we continue to build out, and it monitors your keyword tracking actually daily. But we obviously with algorithms changed. And by the way, this is important. Search results change daily. You can run a report today, and then in 3 days, it can be completely different. But there is ongoing trends that are stay fairly consistent. So we can see upward trends, which we see for all of our clients. So over time, a big issue here, patience. Over time, Google will index your AccountingWorks Pro website higher and higher, on your keywords, and also more keywords. So Google will continue to build kind of your authority for your domain, authority for your brand, and will reward you with higher rankings. So again, AccountingWorks Pro clients, Spotlight or Premier, we already take care of this. So all of you VIPs, those are our new programs, but VIPs that are on our older Whitney packages, K2, we do that for you. So the next thing you want to do is check your site speed with Google's Page Speed Insights tool. We have spent a big investment in developing our 3.0 platform that is currently in beta, and we are launching to our rest of our client base over a period of time here in the next few weeks and months. But basically what we are doing is going right after the Google Speed. We think that is a competitive differentiator. So if you think you want to refresh your website because of speed issues today, definitely you'll want to look at and ask us about our 3.0 platform and when you can get yourself in there. So we've invested, I think about $300,000-$400,000 so far on the development of the new site editor. And our main goal is, one, having a larger scope of content that you can add, more specialties, niches, but also to be a very, very fast site. So that is an important thing to start. Number two, make sure your site looks good on mobile. We've been saying this for years. Mobile is the primary way people are surfing the web today. And if your site does not look good, on mobile, or is slow to load on mobile, you're going to have difficulty ranking. And Google uses this as one of their primary. So we were saying responsiveness and speed. Google is using that more and more in their ranking criteria. So, it's obviously important. More than half of all website traffic comes from a mobile device. That means your site needs to be mobile friendly to ensure you're providing a good user experience. Google considers the user experience as part of their algorithm. So are people bouncing too quickly from your site because it's taking too long to load? This is where, as we continue to simplify the websites that we create, it's a little bit of a battle with our accounting folk, because sometimes you guys want to overwhelm prospects with verbiage, designations, things, and we're trying to actually make the experience or your pitch more of an elevator pitch than a novel. So those are things that we talk about as we move clients into new websites to simplify. It's a trend that is there for a reason, because it works. So don't worry, we have this covered, especially with our new templates. So CountyWorks Pro is built to be mobile responsive and makes this simple. And plus, of course, your site visitors appreciate it. Just an example, Murphy 3, one of our long-standing clients, very customized site, very personalized site. Definitely check it out if you want to see what a site with personality looks like. Number 3, claim your Google My Business listing. So we call it GMB. This is one of the most important things to show up in local search. So if you're going after a local market, for example, your city and tax preparation, your city and virtual CFO services, whatever it is, we want to make sure that your Google My Business listing is first of all, it's claimed. Second of all, that we have optimized it for the search engine. So we're putting all the keywords in. We want to set up our auto posting. The frequency and quality of the posts and information you share in GMB will help you rank better. And then what we consider the most important part is getting 5-star reviews on your GMB profile. This is going to, one, help your profile rank better. Google wants to match their searchers with people or brands that they think are trustworthy, and reviews are one of those big signals that say this brand is trustworthy. Obviously, it also helps in your conversion. So the more of your clients who are basically your ambassadors, right? They're telling your story for you. The more 5-star reviews you have, the better. So this signals to search engines that you are trustworthy and authoritative, and differentiates you in the eyes of prospects when they're searching for tax or accounting help online. This is part of our service for all our VIP clients. So for whatever reason you didn't receive your postcard or never got your GMB auto posting turned on, please hit up our help desk and they will assist you. So definitely claim your GMB. And again, there's a lot of different techniques we can use to help you rank in the top 3. So this is a big deal. It's at the top of the real estate and local search, and you want your brand to show. And this leads me into optimize for local search. So account near me searches are becoming more and more common. So it's important to optimize your online presence for local search. As I mentioned, this means improving your GMB listing, creating these consistent Google posts, ensuring your business information is accurately listed in directories. So that is a big deal. It used to be a bigger part of the algorithm. So when we talk about NAP, name, address, and phone number, basically, and this is part of what we manage for our VIP clients, and this is a very important part of it, is establishing that your name, address, and phone number is consistent across the entire internet. So every directory site that we can submit to and can control, we want to make sure that if one of your visitors or clients lands on one of these directory sites, that they actually can contact you directly with the right phone number, address, et cetera. What Google sees this is as a signal that the probability that this brand information is accurate is higher, the more consistent information you have across the internet. So all these signals to Google that you are a high quality business in your locale and boost the search rankings of your website and other properties. This, again, used to be a bigger percentage of the algorithm. It was up near 20%. Now it's, I think, 11 or 13, 9, I don't know, somewhere in there. But the point is, it is a differentiator between you and a competitor in a market that is competitive. So if you have another firm in your area who is doing well in search, they probably have a very well optimized directory listing. So make sure that you see the value in that. And then in addition, make sure you're doing social media posts, guest posts, tax buzz, and CountyWorks profiles, et cetera. So this is how, these are all signals, trust signals to Google, especially from sites like TaxBuzz and CountyWorks, because those are specific to the tax and accounting industry, and they give you a little more juice for your overall ranking. So optimize for local search. Number 5, we do this for you, but write valuable SEO optimized content. I always recommend that if you have a specific niche that you work in, let's say you target dentists, let's say you do expat taxes, we may not be able to localize and personalize all the information. We are coming out with state-specific content in our 3.0 product, but the reality here is content like blogs and white papers are a great way to bring leads into your site and rank for valuable keywords. You should be posting consistently on topics your prospects and clients care about, specifically life events. Life events are obviously occur year round. And if you miss it and you're not keeping in contact with your clients come into the tax prep meeting, and obviously it's too late to work around a decision they may have made without you. So that's why we target life events a lot, but small and medium-sized business issues, IRS tax problems, we put here important life events in the life of a business. So different stages of a business, personal finance tips, tax and accounting advice, key legislation and regulatory updates. Obviously, that was a huge deal in the last year. I think we put over 50 different blog articles just on COVID-19 related issues. So all of these topics are covered with CountingWorks Pro. If you want to add to our content, feel free. You can add custom content to your blog at any point and to your newsletter. I definitely recommend it. And the more unique it is and more targeted to a specific niche, the better it's going to rank. And basically because there's less competition for your content to rank there. So number 5 is a huge part of what CountingWorks Pro does for you. I've seen many websites that they try to launch and then start a blog and they write 2 articles and then the blog becomes, basically done. There's no more content there. We get some of our best 5-star reviews for our clients from our blog and newsletter content. So it's an incredibly important part to your client retention, your client loyalty, basically, how much can you charge? How many referrals are you going to get? So it's definitely something not to devalue, so to speak. Real quick, just here's a section on the blog. I know all of you are used to our resources, so this should be familiar to you. If you're new to CountingWorks Pro, this is included within the subscription. So aim for featured snippets. This is something new with Google, and some clients actually get frustrated because of this, but the reality is Google is trying to make things easy for their searches. So a lot of times they are using what we call featured snippets, which creates 0-click searches. So meaning your brand may push out content to Google, but the actual reader never actually clicks on a link. So they're going to show the content. I'm going to show this on the next page, but they're going to show the answer to that question in search, but not necessarily taking them to your website. So there's good and bad. I would argue all items that show your brand in a good light or your expertise is positive. So when we talk about 0-click searches, we might be bringing a lot of eyeballs to your brand, but it doesn't necessarily mean everyone is going specifically to your website. They might be going to your GMB profile. They might be going to your social media site. So that is something that's important. We have started implementing FAQs on the home pages of our new websites that we're building. And this is optimized for featured snippets. So it's definitely something that is a trend. So listicles, glossary pages, FAQs, there's the things that we're actually working on our side to improve the content that we put on our professional websites. And here's just an example, what are featured snippets, and here in the blue box is what a featured snippet looks like. So Impact Plus has their brand shown. If someone wants to read more, they can read more, but this is what a featured snippet looks like on Google. Number 7, fix broken links and your H1, H2 header tags. We try to optimize our client sites as well as we can. Sometimes they go in and edit things and they can break things. So if links on your website pages are broken, they can lead to a 404 page that could hurt your SEO and overall user experience. So the idea is to try to find as many broken links as possible. We try to audit our clients' sites as much as we can, but again, with an 8,000 plus users, it becomes difficult. So if you've created your own content, think of that when you add things and make sure that you hopefully are not breaking things. Having headers on your pages make them easier to read for users and make your content easier for search engines to understand. So separate your content into chunks with H1 and H2 tags. 3.0, we have all that hierarchy completely built out. It makes it very easy, and using your keywords in your H1 or H2 will actually help the overall ranking. So these are kind of SEO signals to Google that this page is about a specific topic. And if you use the H1 and H2 tags correctly, you theoretically should rank better. Optimize for voice search. We do this for all our VIPs. It's automatic, but voice search is becoming increasingly common. And there are several reasons you want to spend time on this. So you need to optimize for voice search in order to be accessible to leads online. Voice search improves the client experience during the acquisition stage. And if you aren't showing up on voice search, you're missing out on web traffic. Google has reported that, blank near me searches have increased by 150% over the last 2 years. So this is becoming more and more common. And it's definitely something that we work on the back end. Optimize your site images. This happens often when a pro loads their own image to their website and they do not compress them properly. So you don't want to download, let's say you find an image on Getty Images or you took a photo on your iPhone. You want to make sure that you size them down to web versions. Normally, we like to have like a 72 dpi image, but you don't want to load a 10 megabyte image or something like that. So compress the file so it doesn't slow down your site, write a descriptive file name, and include alt text for accessibility or in case someone's browser doesn't show your image. Following these rules will ensure that including images helps your search engine instead of hurting it. And again, so we've seen at times people upload just huge images, like a profile image, and it's a monster. And we go in. So if you're doing that or need assistance, please reach out to our help desk before so we can size that down. So number 9 is optimize your site images. All right, number 10, keep an eye on Google algorithm changes. So this is something we do for you, and that's the beauty of CountingWorks Pro. We will, make changes to our own, and that's what we did with 3.0 is basically, kind of looked at what, there's a tool called Lightspeed that Google uses to analyze sites, and we basically said we want to create the most optimized possible architecture for our clients to score well on these Lightspeed tests because we know Google relies on this when they rank businesses. So basically, according to Moz, there are an estimated 500 to 600 Google algorithm changes per year. Yes, you read that right. So that's why I said Google results change daily. We look at long-term trends versus freaking out on a one-day blip or a one-day increase. So it's impossible to track for anyone to keep track of every update, but they are less frequent major algorithm changes that you should be aware of. So and Google will announce the major ones now. So most of these will call for some adjustments to your SEO strategy. Again, Sarah and our team are on this. Keep in mind that most information on the content of the algorithm, any changes that occur, comes down to an educated speculation from industry professionals. We are on top of it. We follow all of the trades, all the announcements from Google, and really put that into our product development side. So while I say 10 is keep an eye on Google, think of it this way. CountingWorks Pro is keeping an eye on Google algorithm changes for you. And continuing this, so one algorithm change that we have more information on is the page experience update, which started rolling out on June 15th. This update increased the importance of speed, performance, and aesthetics. Simplify your website. Do narrative storytelling. A lot of the new default sites that we are creating are based on these best practices. Again, this is an area sometimes our clients don't. They see what a competitor. They'll say they're at CPA Site Solutions or whatever it's called. I can't even remember right now, but at their site before, and they're, well, this is what a website looks like. Well, no, that's not what a website should look like. That's what a website looked like 10 years ago. So reality is you need to stay on point because people are choosing brands that are following, kind of best practices and are easily able to get their value proposition across in very few words, simplified sites, storytelling, reviews. So, these are new metrics for user friendliness, and that is people, that can absorb a site. And think about it, if you look at a website and there's so much going on that your mind has to really think about where am I going to go, where am I going to read, usually have lost. So the reality is, I always compare this to an In-N-Out burger. If you're on the West Coast menu where there's 5 or 6 items and that's it. And guess what? They sell a ton of it. And it's easy for someone to make a decision. They don't get caught up in a menu that's 20 pages long. That's the same thing that goes for websites right now. So make visuals are crucial. Make sure you personalize it. We're throwing out or putting out a new, what I'll call kind of like a selfie style human very photo intensive designs that connect with clients. So those are things you might want to consider as well. All in all, most experts sum it up by saying that customer-centric websites, those that focus on user experience, will perform better on Google. And the reality is the internet, and especially just changes in culture and society, the buyer is now in control of the experience. You as the seller no longer can control where they find you, how they look at your content, what decisions they make based on looking on your content. And that's what's happening every day. So a prospect lands on your website. If you have not developed a conversion ready website, you're not going to do as well. If you don't have a lot of 5-star reviews, if you're not telling a story, you're not going to convert like others. So you're getting the traffic. I mean, all of our clients rank, all of our clients get traffic. The issue comes down to, do they follow our best practices when it comes to how to design the site, how to design the pages to convert? And those are the things that we're seeing bigger trends towards: simplification, reviews, telling stories. So definitely something we're using on all of our new site designs. And again, it's something we'll deal with in 3.0. Get active on social media. I can't explain how important this is. Even if you're not getting a ton of engagement, it's another signal to Google about your brand. The more active you are, that means obviously people are social all over the place. If a brand is not active, what does that say about your brand, right? About your practice? And this is coming from the algorithm. So the AI is looking at your brand and saying, oh, they have a nice website. They have no reviews and they do not post on social media. So what does that mean if they're comparing you to another tax and accounting practice who has 50 reviews, 5 stars, and is active on social media? The obvious thing is they're going to rank that other brand. So that's why we always preach it to you. Stay active. What we are finding too, and it's something that we try to communicate, is especially LinkedIn. LinkedIn is just horrible for disconnecting. We do not own your social media profiles. That is a legal agreement between you and Facebook, you and LinkedIn. They control the rules. So when we connect to post on those social sites, GMB, YouTube, whatever it is, if they disconnect for whatever reason, sometimes they do it just periodically, but other times they disconnect for whatever reasons they disconnect. You need to go in. We do warnings. We send you emails, but you need to reconnect those. And we cannot do that for you. We do not have control. And even if we tried, they actually would block our IP. So it is 100% up to you to keep those social media connections going. So, what does social media do? It brings more traffic to your content. It helps you gain backlinks. Other people will find your brand that never would. They wouldn't find you on Google. They're searching on social. They find your brand. They might find an article you've written and backlink to it. That helps SEO. Earn search rankings with your social profiles themselves. Build social trust and topical authority. And of course, what we're trying to do here is bring more traffic to your website, more qualified traffic to your website. So please, please, please get active on social media. All right, so that is our tips on improving your website's Google ranking. As we've been saying through this, CountingWorks Pro does most of this for you. The reason we're bringing these up is to, one, kind of educate you on our processes, but more importantly, the why we do it and why we need your cooperation at times, especially on the review side. If anything you'll learn from here, one, make sure your socials are set up, and secondarily, get another review campaign out there. Get fresh reviews. Google also looks at the frequency of the reviews. So this may seem overwhelming, but again, we automate 90% of this. We ask very little of our professionals, and that's the beauty of our platform. So please help us out when we need to. You will gain from it. So it's a very important item. So again, thank you for joining me for this monthly VIP workshop. We have a lot of exciting things coming up on our product roadmap. Those who participated in our recent survey, we appreciate your feedback. There's some great information there, and we definitely listen and will use it. So if you have any questions about improving your search engine rankings, please feel free to reach out to our help desk at help@countingworks.com. And I look forward to speaking with you again. Thank you.